But the thing I wanted to talk about was this tweet again. And not just this tweet. It's the other things surrounding it. Because there's actually an amazing tweet from Cohh that I want to go over. But we were just talking about how TwitchCon was kind of, not doing too hot. A lot of the horror stories out of TwitchCon this year was the IRL streamers. And that all the just chatting / IRL streamers have like taken over. And apparently most of TwitchCon was just people running around trying to clip farm, right? Getting in people's faces. I have already seen a bunch of clips that went viral. You know, there was like the Peachy clip that went viral with Jack, whatever the nuts is. And it's like that. It's what they do. Like they're trying to get reactions out of people. They're trying to like quote unquote clip farm. And like, you know, it's this weird reality where like a lot of like the biggest creators especially have tried to like give back, right? Like trying to teach the next generation of people like how to be a streamer, how to grow, right? And a lot of people talk about clip farming, right? Like quote unquote clip farming. And there's a lot of people that do clip farming, but it's like, how do you clip farm? Well, you have to have a clip that's like kind of like goes viral. And how does it go viral? It's either really funny, it's a kind of outrageous, whatever, but like everyone has to kind of one up themselves. And so we went past the point of like 10 years ago, the big clip farms were like 360 no scope off the top of a building and the whole lobby goes crazy, right? To like insane pop-off moments where the streamer like hardcore reacts and it's funny. Then you get to like 2020 and it gets to more like, you know, not really the pop-offs, but more it's like reacting to something, right? Like the react meta of 2020 went really hard. And then it went to like 2022 where it's like IRL, but like reacting, right? Where like you go outside or you do stuff or like pranks or like, you know, interacting with other people or seeing people like in real life having a reaction, right? That kind of went hard. And so here we are in 2025 and people hear clip farming or we're trying to do whatever. And it's like, they need to one up themselves. They have to do something so crazy that they have to break through the noise of everyone else. And so how do you do that? You push the boundaries. And so what a lot of people do that with IRL streaming is trying to elicit reactions, trying to start shit. And it's why I've never done any IRL streams or never done like vlog content. Dude, I went out with me and Retro. We were at BlizzCon like 2023. Retro and me were very determined to try to do a vlog. We thought it would be cool, like doing a vlog of our event. I couldn't do it because like I was like, I don't want to like put people on camera that didn't want to be on camera and like starting other shit. And it just felt kind of awkward. I also saw 2 more tweets. I want to get to Cohh's in a second, which I think is really important. But this one's another one from Dan's Gaming. It said, this is like the Dan's Gaming guy, like the actual emote. It said one of the most annoying things at TwitchCon, one of the most annoying things at TwitchCon I've been to in the past was people shoving their cameras in your face while they were live streaming. Luckily, there weren't many back then. It seems to be vastly more rampant now. And that's what's happened. It's getting more and more. Everyone's trying to like stand out. They want to be the next attention grabber, right? What's the point of TwitchCon if everyone's standing around on their phones just trying to stream and clip each other, right? Like, wasn't the whole point of it like a community thing in the beginning, right? Like it's like streamers in their community come together, not just a bunch of streamers trying to like harass each other or like, yeah, basically acting like paparazzi. It kind of seems weird. And I bring up all of that because I want to talk about this tweet, which comes off of this, and said, this is where we start the petition to have Cohh be the CEO of Twitch. If you don't know who Cohh is, Cohh Carnage has been around since like the dawn of Twitch. The guy basically just streams in his own lane, plays a lot of like single player games, plays some multiplayer games too, but like things that like I've seen a lot of from like anything from like Stardew Valley to like he was playing Battlefield recently, and basically just kind of keeps to his own thing. He's voice acted a few times. I didn't know that actually. But this I think would say like I think he was one of the original blueprints of how to be like a chill vibes Twitch streamer. And so he quoted it with something very interesting. Yeah, Cyberpunk, like, yeah. Oh, he's in Cyberpunk? Wait, who's he in Cyberpunk? He's Gary the Prophet in Cyberpunk? Wait, I didn't know that. He's in BG3 too? What? Dude, I didn't know that. Today I learned. Anyways, though, he quoted it, and I think this is something very interesting, and I want you guys to hear it. Nah. Firstly, I'm not qualified in any way, but thanks for thinking about me. Mainly, but there is one important reason I could never lead, or help lead, Twitch. What I would do is not popular. what I would do, people wouldn't like. What I would do would lose money. What I would do is change the system fundamentally. What I would do to Twitch would most likely not work. What does that mean? It means if it were up to me, Twitch would become about video games again. No IRL, no politics, nothing that isn't directly related to gaming culture in some way. If you don't know today, this is the browse feature of Twitch, which shows you every category from top to bottom based on viewership. Do you notice something? The number one category is just chatting, with 524,000 people currently in it right now. The next closest is League of Legends at 188,000. I bet there's League of Legends esports going on. Maybe, I don't know. It seems to be in French, so I can't figure it out. The next one is GTA, which is arguably one of the biggest streaming communities on the platform, with lots of GTA RP. I don't know what King's League is, I'm going to be honest with you. And then Minecraft, one of the biggest games ever, special events, and then Pokemon ZA, which just came out, and it comes down pretty significantly. Just chatting is consistently the number one category, and it's not close. But Flats, how would you talk about this very topic? True, exactly. I think that it is spiraled almost too far. And Cohh talks about that for many of reasons, and he makes good points. So I agree with you. Let's continue. What Twitch was before it started to woo Amazon with the introduction of IRL, relaxing the broadcast rules, especially around sexual content, etc. What I would do is not only unfeasible, it's unrealistic for what I'd do or I'd want. It's not something I would do. IRL was a Pandora's box. You can't turn it off. You can't disable it. Hell, at this point, I'd argue a huge portion of the platform doesn't even play or care about video games. And that's a one-way process. That isn't something you fix. It's not something me or anyone else could go back in and bring back. And also, to put it bluntly, at this point, there are so many IRL/non-video game viewers that it wouldn't be right to turn it off. Twitch isn't about video games anymore. Surely it has them, but they're no longer the star of the show. They're just another cast member. This reminds me of like a topic that came up about 3 or 4 months ago. Maybe it was like closer to 6 actually. There was like a tip from Tim that came out where basically it was like, yeah, gaming streams have kind of like are no longer the forefront. It's all about IRL. It's all about clip farming. It's all about collabs and just chatting and React meta and stuff like that. And he was basically like, yeah, it's probably going to stay that way till GTA 6, which is true. Not saying like you can't be a gaming streamer. You absolutely can. And it's great. I love doing it. Yeah, just chatting should be more about yapping and random shit. IRL streams for be places to stream record and don't have lots of people in there. Yeah, I think that was the original idea behind just chatting, because there is an IRL category as well. So IRL has a category too. Well, actually, I'm scared of what's in there. Okay, I shouldn't be scared of what's on Twitch, but I am sometimes. And so it's just like people out in the wild doing stuff. And this is like the IRL category, but people use the just chatting category for it all the time because the just chatting category is much bigger, you know? So actually you should combine these two. You should put just chatting and IRL together, and that's even higher. It's closer to like 600,000 viewers currently in the moment, you know? Let's continue with it though. Now, what's that all mean? It means I or anyone else shouldn't want to change that. IRL is here to stay on Twitch, and that isn't going to go anywhere. So when people say things like this, my response: I'd much rather someone with resources steps up to make the Twitch of old, a streaming site for gamers by gamers, bring in a team of experienced industry leaders that made streaming what it is, tags DJ Wheat and Fwiz, etc., and make a board of leaders that understands that the focus is casters, gamers, and viewers. That's it. Keep overhead as low as possible, and in the company to keep all the splits as high as possible. Rebuild Paradise in a new format. That's the future I'd like to see. IRL and all non-gaming content have a consistent home that doesn't go anywhere. The current Twitch and the core gamers of Twitch having a chance to return to that magical place we used to live in. A place where everyone can see the chat, or a place where everyone we see and chat with shares our passion, a place for gamers. Would this be financially feasible? I think so, A streamlined company would allow for higher sub-splits, encouraging casters. I feel like many game casters is also flocked to the site, as it could be built with all the same features of Twitch, but more gaming angled widgets. On top of that, the lack of IRL/non-gaming means a beefy enforcement team would make the platform far more attractive to advertisers, assuming the numbers would be anywhere close, lol. In terms of content, and especially in game dev cases, making sure the audience that sees your advertisement actually wants your products. Basically, it would need some love, but I absolutely think a new platform would be viable over time. That's the big one right there at the end, is the advertisers. And I mean, there's a lot of reasons for an advertiser to not want to advertise on Twitch right now. For example, YouTube is phenomenal with this. There's a reason why if you're a YouTube creator, especially a YouTube finance creator, you are making the big bucks. I'll give you an example. The CPM of a finance YouTuber is somewhere between $15 and $35. Basically, per like 1,000 views, they'll make 35 bucks, right? That is ridiculously high. If you're like a Minecraft streamer or YouTuber, I think it's like less than $1, or used to be less than $1. Why is that? Because they understand that the people who watch Minecraft videos are mostly children, or used to be. I don't know if that's still the case. But the people who are watching finance YouTube are typically adults with conscious budgets that also have disposable income, which means that they're going to have money to spend on the products you're advertising. And so they're worth way more. And so on Twitch, you don't have that. For example, let's say me. If you were an up-and-coming hero shooter or a shooter games player, it would be in your best interest to put ads for your game on my stream, on Emok's stream, on any shooter gamer stream, because that audience is the people that want to buy your game. But that's not how Twitch works. The way Twitch works is that you buy it and it's shown site-wide. So it's shown to the just chatting people, it's shown to the League of Legends streamers, it's shown to IRL streamers, it's shown in GTA, and so you spend all this money on like views, but it's not targeted. So you end up spending a bunch of money and probably not getting much return. Hell, Bezos could fund this himself and just be a little sister site to Twitch. But yeah, nothing in this tweet is new. I feel like a lot of us have felt this way over the years. We kind of feel like we've lost our home and we want to go home. And I want to see something very interesting at the end. Asmongold responds and says, as one of the prime agitators, yeah, ban politics. It's a lot to break down, but in some ways, I think that Twitch has changed a lot, for better or for worse. And unfortunately, gaming has fallen behind in quite a ways. And I definitely wish it hadn't personally, but I also understand that that's also my own opinion and not every person shares that. But looking at this recent TwitchCon and seeing everybody being like almost upset, because like Twitch was a nerdy place, right? Like a bunch of nerds are on Twitch, and now it's, for lack of a better terms, a lot more normies, I guess you could say. And they're all trying to make it, and they came off of TikTok and they're trying to get streamed on Twitch because TikTok pays you nothing. So they're trying to migrate TikTok viewers onto Twitch so that they can make money streaming, doing whatever they're doing. And then they're also trying to break into their live streaming space by doing clip farming and doing whatever. And so that comes to a head where it clashes, where you have like the older or gamers who want to be there for gaming, and then you have the people there that are trying to become the next Kai Cenat. So it is what it is. But yeah, Twitch isn't really for game. It doesn't feel like it's always for gamers anymore. It's kind of split. But it's interesting that this sentiment has grown quite significantly in just the past 4 months.